Daniel, you have super strength and the ability to fly. What is the first thing you're doing?
Buying a plane ticket.
Why?
Because then I open up the door and people are like, "Oh, he's gonna jump," and then I just fly. Like, okay, that's a good prank.
The rest of you die.
It's a good
and
prank.
I live.
Idiots. Once the plane door goes off.
They're landing.
Oh, it's as they're
They're
landing?
landing.
That does not make this more safe.
Are we recording?
Yeah, we're obviously recording.
I was also
Hello.
About
You're like, let's move on then. Anything
Hello.
that makes us less safe.
Welcome to Bottle Episodes.
I'm David Piccolomini.
I'm Daniel Crow, and today we're talking about Dragon Ball Gran Turismo.
Step into the Grand Tour. Step into the Grand Tour. Dragon Ball GT. Step into the Grand Tour. Dragon Ball GT. Step into the Grand Tour. A brand new adventure begins. Another challenge from Goku in the street.
With our guest,
Alex Ptak.
You would normally say your name.
See, I haven't caught up on the episodes yet, but thrilled to be here. Talking Goku. I love Goku.
Do you love Goku?
I love Goku.
Can I ask a Goku question that was made unclear to me in Dragon Ball GT?
Yeah, let's rap.
How old is Goku?
Easily 60.
Because he had a grandkid, but he looked 30.
Well, that's the thing is Goku's got a great body.
Goku is also an alien.
He's number one thing about Goku. Also,
Okay.
He's not a human being. It's like a Superman
This is
situation.
presumably related to my second question, which is why does Goku have a monkey tail?
It's because he's not a human being.
Okay.
He turns into
Yes.
a big monkey. He's a big monkey, man.
That's a large part of Dragon Ball.
That he has a monkey tail?
Yeah, and will sometimes turn into a giant monkey.
It
All right.
comes up. It's
And then
relevant to the
More
show.
often than you'd think, or the right amount of often?
It fluctuates. It wanes and waxes. But
That is true.
there's a part in the middle where they're like, just forget about all that for a while. But then they're like, actually, it's more important than ever that he turned into a big monkey.
It'll never be more important than right now.
Welcome to the show.
Super Saiyan ape.
Yeah, that's in the, you didn't see it, but that's in there.
That's in
Yeah.
GT.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Before we get into the plot of GT, can I get a full rundown of Goku's powers?
He's Superman.
Let's
He's Japanese Superman.
Okay.
You get it? You got
Yeah,
it?
that's
All right.
basically it.
He lifts big things. He shoots you with a big beam.
He can shoot beams out of his hands too.
Pretty cool.
That's the main thing is he shoots beams out of his hands.
He's really fast and punches a lot.
Yeah.
Actually,
and Dragon Ball GT, his main move is actually that he punches you and then a giant cartoon dragon flies out of nowhere and goes through your whole body and you catch on fire. But it's never explained or elucidated. That just happens several times.
Okay, I think I have a theory to why that could be. Because he has the Dragon Balls in his body. All right, this is a spoiler for the end of that. Let's explain what Dragon Ball is total.
Where
Alex,
do you want to
as
start?
Well, can I start as someone who was aware of the Dragon Ball franchise just because it's part of pop culture?
Sure.
Yes.
And I watched a little bit of this. I was surprised that there were actual balls that summon dragons.
That's right.
I thought it was just a cool name they came up with. But there are actual balls that seem to summon a dragon. And not only does it summon a dragon, he seems to grant a wish.
Well, there's an expression in the 80s in Japan that's if there's balls, you got to use them.
Is that a real expression?
If there's balls, you got to use
I
them.
believe him.
That's the pachinko machine.
That's the pachinko expression.
Look, the franchise has been very successful. I don't feel I should tell them how to do it, but I think the ball should either summon a dragon or grant a
Yeah,
wish.
dude.
Both is overkill.
Akira Toriyama's got his paper up way more than you do. It's like obscene.
Okay.
He's got like a fancy typewriter. He's got all kinds of cool stuff you can't even imagine.
After typewriter, I'm done imagining
Yeah.
things.
Nothing's fancier.
I read a clickbait article earlier this month about how his typewriter broke, but he's got other cool stuff too. He's made so much money.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Dragon Ball Z is huge.
Yeah.
That's where I came into the series, on Toonami.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like a lot of people.
Tom from Toonami introduced you. If you're familiar with Tom, he was
Same guy from MySpace?
Yeah, I was about to say. Wait,
It maybe was he was the MySpace.
his
Tom,
name was also named Tom.
Did he have like
the
a
weird-
blue helmet on and
Yeah.
he'd be like, "Check it out,
Yeah,
here's Cowboy Bebop."
yeah, that guy.
I was
Yeah.
I was a little kid, and sometimes I'd turn on Cartoon Network past my bedtime, and I would see that guy, And then a few years later, I became aware of who Daft Punk was, and I thought it was the same guy.
What the hell?
I love the idea that he went from moving on from being a DJ on Adult Swim for anime to running Daft Punk. That's actually
Yeah.
a very
that's
the career
That's the
path.
Killer Mike arc, actually. So that's fine. Shout out to Killer Mike. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, he's a big fan
Big
of the pod.
fan.
LP hates it.
He hates it. It's tough because he's much more New York based.
Yeah, we really tried to get LP on this a couple times. Although Killer Mike won't come on because this is not a black-owned business.
No, and he loves bad television.
How does he feel about Dragon Ball GT?
Oh,
So Dragon Ball is essentially it's a story of Goku and Krillin training and Bulma trying to get the Dragon Balls with Master Roshi's
I'm
guidance.
trying to think of the way to compress this into like the smallest, most bite-sized, presentable way. And it's that there is a very powerful young boy who's mysterious. It turns out he's an alien. That's Goku. And the show goes on for 1 million episodes following his entire life. Dragon
Yes.
Ball GT is the last section of that where they hedge and make him young again to sell more toys and just like totally lose the plot of what people liked about the franchise.
I read online the creator was not involved, and a lot of people consider this non-canon, which is why they hate it.
It is non-canon now.
Okay.
Because they got him to make another sequel to Dragon Ball Z, and he's like, this is the good one.
Which one's
Forget
that?
about the other one, Dragon Ball Super, which is also not good, but is not as bad as Dragon Ball GT.
Okay, so that's what I watched with you.
In 2018?
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
When it was a new show.
Yes.
Yeah, we watched that.
Okay.
It's also
so I
a
have
bad
seen,
show.
I've seen
But-
3 episodes of GT.
Can I get a good zinger in?
Yeah, sure.
Dragon Ball Super, more like Dragon Ball subpar.
Watch yourself.
What's up?
Watch yourself. Killer Mike's listening. But it's a great program. It's the most impressionable thing on children in the last 50 years.
Okay, so this
Goku is on prayer candles around Latin America.
is really?
Yes.
Yeah, that's incredible. My brother, when we would get into fights in like middle school, he would charge up.
That's going to dramatically increase your key, David.
Like he would full on, elbows in and like, and then would run at me. But I had so much time to just wait and not.
Well, you learned to hide your power level.
Yeah. No.
And that actually
Scanners
makes you
can't.
the superior fighter. I would love to go out and be like, I've never charged up. But I honestly, and I'm not remembering a specific time, but like there is definitely...
In Rage?
There's probably like a few times I charged up a little bit as a young person.
Guys, this is actually a PSA against charging up. If you
Don't do
or a
it.
loved one has charged up at any point.
It's embarrassing
I'm
later.
gonna disagree. Do it now. Charge up to listen to the episode.
Honestly, it's more for your own safety because your power level is not going to be what you want it to be, and it's just going to hurt your feelings.
You want it as high as it goes, usually. There's really no downside to it being too high.
Yeah, if it's over 9,000, call your doctor and brag to him about how big your power level is.
Exactly. Tell him. And then he'll go, oh!
So I think we can do a quick summary of what happens in the first episode, and then can you explain why people hate it so much?
Sure. Maybe I should just explain like 2 more things that you should know about the basic Dragon Ball franchise, which is that it's famous for having the big battles where there's 2 people battling and then 10 people just going, oh, no. Oh, it's so crazy.
Yes.
And kind of like a Greek tragedy or something.
The audience fill in. They're like the laugh.
And the time dispersion between these two is like the reaction gets 45 more minutes than whatever fight was happening.
I think my biggest when I started to feel the like problems of Dragon Ball Z when like it was like, oh, he's just been holding that ball in the air for like 6 episodes.
Yeah.
This has been 6 weeks of my life where he's just having an internal monologue and people are reacting to it.
And you're also cutting into the last thing you should know about Dragon Ball Z, which is that like there are no rules and time has no meaning. There's several big boss fights that happen where one person is like, we have 2 minutes to fight, and then 6 more episodes happen. And it's like, there's no way. Because you're not just fighting and it's sped up for us or whatever, slowed down. It's like people are talking at conversational speed the whole time. So it's like, it's been at least 2 hours. There's no way this has been 2 minutes.
they're taking breaks in conversation. It
Yeah.
can't be.
And Dragon Ball GT takes like even more of those.
They said that they had a year to get all the Dragon Balls back. How long does it actually take over the full show?
I want to say 30 episodes. They take a while, but those episodes fucking suck. They're so bad. They're the worst part of the entire reboot they did. They like totally don't know what they're doing. So the concept of the show is to take all the high octane thrillerism of Dragon Ball Z, where everyone's like Superman, really strong, and then combine that with the original show, which is from the 80s, which is like a cheeky childhood adventure where there's like, it's kind of like an Indiana Jones thing where there's a strong boy who does karate. And so they're like, look, there's an invincible boy who does karate.
Can I just
like,
say,
what are the stakes then?
You had to compare Dragon Ball, the strong boy that does karate, to an 80s movie, and you picked Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Over the Karate Kid.
Yeah, well, Indiana Jones does way more karate than the Karate Kid. The Karate Kid gets his
I don't
ass
think
beat
he does
most
any
of the
karate.
Kid. He does the same karate Goku does.
Indiana Jones?
Yeah,
He just
Okay,
punches
guys.
people.
Street roughery.
New series: David Carradine fights Ralph Macchio.
Who do you think plays Indiana Jones?
Oh no, I was doing karate.
Okay, that's Kung Fu.
David was a big producer in the 70s. His
show
brain is still there.
The show you're thinking of is Kung Fu.
He's firing on all cylinders right now. What if we get Pacino on this?
I believe they did actually want Tom Selleck for Indiana Jones.
Really?
That would have been
Yeah.
great.
I think he was just committed to Magnum PI and couldn't do it.
Coward! Wear the hat!
Oh man, that would have meant Harrison Ford did Blue Bloods.
Yeah, that would have rocked.
Harrison Ford.
You're telling me
Also-
my dad's a cop.
You telling me I'm a cop too?
Time to jerk off my cock. I haven't seen the show. I don't know. What
Yeah,
that
it's
is.
mostly cops.
I thought that. Well, in the firefighter shows, they're always having sex, so I thought maybe they do stuff like that.
Blue Bloods feels like it's like more weird conservative values.
Oh, that
More-
like rescue me.
Yeah.
More importantly, what would Goku be like in Blue Bloods?
Hi, I'm Goku. That's his catchphrase.
Yeah, he really does. He says that constantly.
He says it a lot. And then he's like, "You're strong. We have to fight," and then he like kind of destroys you. Oh, I guess another thing you should know about Goku is he's like a personification of Sun Wukong, who's the Chinese like fighting god, and so his top morality is always fighting, and he does lots of immoral things to pursue that.
Yeah,
He's kind of the villain of the show.
He's
in
kind of
way.
a weird Christ figure.
Yeah. But
If Christ was evil,
if Christ like was like very into resurrecting the devil to fight him at the everyone else's expense over and over again.
wait, what? He resurrects?
Yeah, okay. So this is relevant to the first episode of Dragon Ball GT. At the end of Dragon Ball Z, Goku fights Majin Buu, who is like the last big alien
That's
guy.
where I eventually, once they killed Majin Buu like 3 times in Dragon Ball Z, I kind of gave up.
Yeah, he comes back. Well, they're really dragging it out. It's like they had a quota or something. I don't know what
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
doing.
exactly.
They like jam a lot of the animation budget in there, so it actually looks pretty cool. But it is like, why is this happening? Anyway, so they finally get him. He's like a spooky alien guy, and then Goku, because he's close with the guy who's in charge of heaven, as he's killing him, is like, please bring Majin Buu back, but as like a really cool young man that I can fight. And then someone does that for him off screen, and he comes back as a small Indian boy named Oob, who is in this episode.
Oh.
And Goku, at the end of Dragon Ball Z, in a very Jeffrey Epstein style move, goes to live with Oob and abandons his family for like 15 years. And that's how this show opens.
That's okay. That's who Oob is.
Yeah. He's Majin Buu, but he's brought back.
It's Boo backwards. I hate it.
Can I?
I hate it so much.
I'm glad you caught on to that. You're pretty smart. Okay.
So we'll go through the plot. And can I ask some questions along the way?
Yes.
Who's the blackface character?
Oh, that's Mr. Popo. Did you watch it in Japanese? I heard his Japanese voice for the first time.
No, I watched the dubbed version because when I looked up, it said the dub is worse. So I wanted to watch the worst version.
Okay, so the dub version, I feel like because it's an American audience, they do like try to change Mr. Popo a little bit. Like, they should just make him a different color or take him out or something. Like, it's a recurring problem in the show. They have a bunch of characters be racist to him a bunch. He pretty much looks like a lawn jockey, if you haven't seen the show. But it's, like, made by a Japanese man, so he's just like, and he's one of the guys! And there are also normal, like, dark-skinned people in the show who aren't Mr. Popo, so it's like, what is
he's a
Mr. Popo
different...
then? And that's not really... That's not really cleared up.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't answer. He's in that same place as Jinx. from Pokemon.
It's just like Jinx.
But they changed
It's just
Jinx.
like
They changed Jinx to purple.
Yeah.
Well,
That did not cross over the Mr.
Okay,
Popoverse.
my question of who is he has not been. No light has
Well,
been
I'm
shed.
glad you asked. He's kind of like a live-in
did you ask
servant.
what is
Oh
he?
no! Yeah, what's his story?
No, you asked what is he?
Yeah, is he an alien or what?
And
what's going on?
But what he does is also different. Yeah.
He's a live-in servant
Oh,
for the
no.
Guardian of Earth, who's a green guy, and people agree that the green guys are black-coded, which is like that's weird because the other guy he lives with is. Like again, a racist like
Fiction
caricature.
of- yeah.
but
I
fucking.
didn't think about that. Oh, I don't love
It's
it.
like a
any of
lot
this.
to unwrap, really.
Oof,
but he's
yeah.
a good guy, and like he never does anything bad or anything. But yeah, they shouldn't look like
Katie
that.
lives not far from here. Let's get her in.
Let's get her in. Co-host Katie Rose Leon. She definitely wants to talk about Dragon Ball more. 6 years was not enough to discuss Dragon Ball for Katie.
You did pick this.
I did. This is the life I chose.
I did give you a list of anime, and you were like, "This is." I
I'm
know how
the
to
most qualified to talk about this one.
Okay, so further on the plot. So then we see this group of trolls or whatever, and they have found the Dragon Balls.
Yes. So again, like I was saying, when they start Dragon Ball GT, it's like a rebrand for the show. So they bring back the villains from the original show, which is like decades old by this point, and they're all old now. And one of them's a little green guy, and his name is Emperor Pilaf. And
Yes, I remember thinking like rice.
yes, like they all have food names. That's also something you have to know.
That's also something you have to know.
That's something you have to know. Goku's son is Gohan, which means meal. Anyway, he's a whole ass meal. He's Gohan. They make him suck in Dragon Ball GT. Anyway, the point is, so Emperor Pilaf's back, and this is part of the power scaling issue they're gonna have to even like survive climbing into the tower where Goku is hanging out. He's just in a mech suit, and it's unexplained about like. Of course, if he's back in the show, he's gonna need to be in a big crazy robot now to like keep up with Goku, and so he has his like cute buddies who were the antagonists of the original show and are like cute cartoon characters. One of them is a fox ninja, like he's a cute fox with a ninja suit, and the other one was a sexy lady, but she's old now. And then
Is that her whole background?
it is kind of yeah. They don't really get into it. She's just like she's kind of like the bad guy from Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Natasha?
Natasha, yeah.
A Boris and Natasha fan.
They're pretty much both Boris and Natasha, but with like a bossy little guy.
Now they find the Dragon Balls, and he wants to make himself ruler of the world, but then Goku shows up, and they don't recognize him, even though they were, you're saying, enemies?
Well, he was a little boy before.
He was a child.
Oh, so then when he becomes a kid again. Wait,
Then
why?
they recognize him.
So hang on, wait a minute. He beat them when he was a little kid, yes?
Yes.
Then the guy, he's got the Dragon Balls, he can make a wish, and he, not thinking, says, "Ooh, I wish you were a little kid again so I could beat you." But he's already lost to him when he was a little kid.
You know the best comparison for what happens in this show is the "you got peanut butter on my chocolate" Reese's ad.
Yeah.
Where a car crashes together and the peanut butter and chocolate become a Reese's peanut butter cup. That's what they do to Goku. Where Emperor Pilaf sees Goku and goes, "Oh, I wish you were a little boy again." And then a mystical dragon is listening because they've awoken the Dragon Balls, and it makes Goku a little boy.
And Goku, when he's a little boy, his hair is the same as Tiny Rick in Rick and Morty when Rick becomes little.
That's really interesting. I wonder if there's kind of an illusion there.
I think there's
Maybe
got to be.
Dragon Ball is kind of saying we're taking a Rick and Morty direction to the
I
show
think
now.
it's the other way around, but I like where your head's at. That
They
Rick
do
and Morty.
a similar thing. They go to planets and they see like, oh no, the toaster lords.
Yeah.
You gotta kill them. But the thing is, they don't have any ideas, so you're just like, just kill them. Like, just shoot a beam at them. There's never anything clever that happens
Yeah,
in the
I
show.
think the episode I watched, now that I know that it's a GT, it was like a tournament with like animals. It was just like a weird...
That was Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, okay.
They're all bad. They're just different.
Percentage-wise, number of episodes. What percentage of Dragon Ball episodes across all series do you enjoy?
Oh, do I enjoy watching?
Yes.
Wait, Ball, Z, and GT?
Or do you
And
mean
Super? Yeah, all of
discussing
them.
later in a room of consenting adults?
How many of all of the Dragon Ball shows would you sit down and go, "That was fun. I enjoyed watching
I
that"?
do like the idea that you also go around and discuss this in rooms of unconsenting adults.
I have also done that, and that's less
Who
fun.
wants to talk about Goku?
If you grab Micah Brucey, you can make him talk about Dragon Ball, but it's not pleasant.
I need a percentage.
Anyway, I'd say 50-50.
Wow. Okay.
I'd say whole series, which is not bad.
No,
Like, there's a
that's
while in the middle where you're like, they're onto something here, and then they absolutely fall on their face.
yeah. That's enough of a TV show to watch.
Yeah. Oh, you know what the thing is though is so when we
What was that?
What?
Just like deep sighed.
Because I was just thinking about something later in the episode.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking about something else.
I was thinking.
This is really interesting.
No, I was just thinking about. There's a point we have to bring up in a few minutes, and it's stupid.
Okay.
that can't be the
That
case.
narrows it down.
I am just thinking about the percentage I gave, and the version of Dragon Ball we rewatched when we rewatched Dragon Ball Z for our show was the improved edit Nickelodeon cobbled together, where they take out some of the Greek chorus stuff, and that maybe did punch up their percentage.
But also, how much would you say if you got rid of GT?
I'd say if you got rid of GT, but then watch the original Dragon Ball Z, that would be still 50-50.
Okay.
A lot of Dragon Ball Z sucks too. It's not like that was all good either.
No, that Dragon Ball Z has the same problem that it came from a time much like arcade games where you had to pay a quarter each time, so they were impossibly difficult. So you'd pay $10 a trip.
Yeah.
They
What
had
else you
to-
got going on?
Dragon Ball Z was like, listen, you don't know how to download using BitTorrent yet.
Yeah.
So you're stuck here watching us and our toy commercials and Dragon Ball Z, and we'll make you watch the Spirit Bomb for a month and a half.
drag that out. Yeah.
There's no streaming service.
I think it's partially that the show's just been on for 30 years. It just has cool eras, and then like the part of the show that's cool is when it gets very new metal-y in 90s, and everyone is just like bleeding and throwing up all the time.
So back to the plot.
Okay, yes.
Then Goku finds out that he has to get the Dragon Balls back, or the Earth will be destroyed in a year, and they've been spread all over the galaxy.
They fucking ham-fist that in, too.
No, it seemed like ADR, even though all animation is technically ADR.
They're like, oh, we forgot to shoot this part. By the way, Goku, you have 1 year or everyone dies.
So then he wanders off and he goes to a bank robbery,
Uh-huh.
which he tries to stop the bank robbery, but he's stopped by a girl who we will learn is his granddaughter,
That's correct.
who's like,
Yes.
hey, you're too little to fight these
on a
bank
date.
robbers. She's on a date, but that is
That's
borderline
neither here nor
irrelevant.
there.
Also,
it's dropped
how
to be
old is that character?
It's confusing.
Okay.
But also, he's the most jacked child I've ever seen. She should let him fight.
Yeah.
She should let that jacked kid fight.
I do love
He's
that.
ripped.
I
Yeah, he
do
looks great.
honestly. Here's the thing: I disagree only if I'm at her level of fighter already.
Yeah.
you don't let that kid fight. But like if I'm at a bank robbery and I see a little jacked kid, I'm
Oh, if
encouraging
David
him.
was doing
Boom.
it, David, you should just let whatever's happening happen, by the way. You should not try to stop bank
No,
robbery.
that's what I'm saying.
Especially not these kinds where it's like a full heat shootout and you're just spraying machine guns into a crowd.
Yeah, they have a machine gun for
It's
no
like
reason.
the darkest moment in Hercule City history, and it's just like brushed over.
But then
she
we
just runs by them.
Yeah. Well, it's no problem for her.
yeah,
then we meet an old pervert that's seemingly training her to be a fighter.
That's Goku's master. Yeah.
that's Master Roshi. And
Why
he's
is he
been
like that?
He's been that way the entire
He
time.
lives on an island where no one can tell him that his lifestyle is wrong, and so he just like jacks off all day and then trains kids how to fight.
Why?
Why? Because that's how his best life is. He
He's
does that, then he
weird
goes to the city
libertarian.
and like commits assault, and no one can do shit about it because his hands are weapons.
Okay, and then we go and meet Goku's family, and his wife
He's
is.
a character from Japan in the 80s.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
really what I could sum it up with that.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
So then we meet Goku's wife, and she's like, I can't be married to a kid.
Chi-Chi, yes, she's upset in regards to her sex life, one would assume.
Rightfully
now,
so.
with the information I've given you, that Goku has been away for 12 to 15
Yeah,
years
that
with an
scene is
Indian
much
boy.
less impactful now.
Especially when you consider, and this came up a lot in the last episode of Dragon Ball Z we were talking about, he can instantly transport or fly anywhere he wants, so he doesn't have to live there. He just chooses to. He could easily commute to the Indian village in mornings, fight, and then go back to his wife, and he's just like, she's busted. I'm out of here. I'm eating new curries. I'm finding a
Listen,
new
if you're not
girlfriend.
fighting 24/7, are you really grinding? Is the Goku mindset?
Yeah, he really is fully grind-setted, too. That's why, like, finance guys like him and, like, workout teens and stuff.
They're all just trying to be Goku.
Yeah.
Grind set like Goku. Yeah, he's I don't know. Is he just a happier version of like that fully toxic mindset?
Yeah, he is. Well, it's like very papered on top. Is like no changes to behavior, but just like a really good attitude about it. And he is very single-minded. That's like the thing about the character is he does not care about sex at all.
Yeah, his
or anything
behavior
like
didn't
that.
change when he became a kid at all.
No, they tell him he's a kid now, and he's like, "That's fine." And they're like, "No, the Earth will blow up," and he's like, "God damn it."
Wait, so now I have to fight more? Okay.
Yeah, but he does get to fight all kinds of strong aliens, including one named General Rildo, which is a top tier funny name in my opinion.
No,
Or
you're
General Rildo?
General.
You're
Rildo.
saying that he doesn't care about sex at all, but he has a wife and kids.
Yeah.
So did he like start off fighting her and it just escalated?
First of all, yes, and then
Wait, seriously?
that's in the show. And then,
No.
Second of all, this is mostly what we talked about on our podcast: is how did he conceive those kids? There's a part in Dragon Ball Super where he has a line that exposes he's never kissed before, and it's like, "But you have 2 kids, so you're just doing back shots." You're coming home from
There's also the Superman problem of like...
Is she an alien as well?
No, she's normal.
She's human, yeah.
She loves him. She loves him to death.
Listen, we don't want to define normal as human.
No.
Namekian is also normal.
You could be any kind of
Sand
alien.
is normal.
You could be any of the... By the way, aliens in the show are just like different colors people, usually.
Or
No, some of them
animals.
look like
Sometimes there'll
bugs.
be like a wub wub who's like, I'm a little guy. But
Or
then
sometimes
they're
they're offensive stereotypes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they can't fight with like fists. You usually don't spend any time with them. They're kind of boring from a Goku angle.
So then that's pretty much the end of the episode. He's like, I gotta get the Dragon Balls back so so my wife will get off my back.
This
That's
fucking
pretty much
bitch
what he
is
resolves
breathing down
to.
my neck about the Earth blowing up.
And that's the end of episode 1.
That's a tradition in all of these bad TV shows. It's just how much it's like, ugh, the wife.
She's out of control,
And
and I'm a baby now.
I'm a cool 8-year-old. What would
It's also very important to realize there's a set of Dragon Balls that don't blow up the Earth that they usually use, and then this ones do the same thing but do blow up the Earth and go
they're
farther
stronger.
away.
They're stronger.
these ones had black stars
It's
in the middle,
silly.
they said. It's
silly
different.
is what it is.
It is very silly, but it was a thing where I was like, I did think he was bullshitting. I thought he was making it up. I thought he painted them on.
Yeah, that would be a better answer than what it really
Like
is.
that guy, I was like, this guy's full of shit.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's funny for Dragon
Did you think it
Ball.
was funny that they exercise the way they emphasized it's a more powerful dragon is by making it slightly bigger and red?
Well, I didn't
No, this
know
one's
what the
good.
dragon normally looks like.
He's normally slightly smaller and green, but still like impossibly big. But like this
Yeah,
one's even bigger.
It's just like, whoa.
You just wait. You only see the top of his nose.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying the episode, please check out all our other stuff like Alex Ptak. You should check him out at Ultra Ptak on Instagram and his podcast, Quora Raiders, a podcast all about the website Quora, where they answer all sorts of weird questions and find weird questions from Quora, which has nothing to do with the anime Legends of Korra. I know that can be very confusing for the two. And then you can check me out at DPIC Comedy on Instagram, and then Lit Grandma 420 on TikTok. And I have a comedy special, Goblin King, which you should watch on YouTube. This sounds like I'm improvising what my credits are, and it's just that memory's difficult. Why are we trying? Should delete that part. Anyway, and then Daniel F. Crow on Instagram for Daniel. But don't follow him. He doesn't like it. He doesn't use it. Or do follow him because that'll make him confused. I think that's the thing. Or we might be able to feed his ego until he becomes a weird baby monster, which I think could be interesting to see, if terrifying to behold. Okay, anyway, here's the rest of the podcast. Let's go to the ending.
Okay.
The last episode?
The last episode.
It's pretty much all falling action.
Which, great. I loved it.
We did the last 2 together because it's kind of like a package thing where they do a time skip.
Oh, yeah. So wait, what happens in the
it makes me
episode-
even more unclear on Goku's age. Hang on. Another question on Goku's age, because like the last scene, they're at a fighting tournament in the future, and his granddaughter is there
Yeah.
with his
But his
great grandson or great great grandson, her grandson,
Yeah, her
who looks
grandson.
just like Goku.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's fighting.
Genetics, right?
Now he's only supposed to be
The
DH2.
sand DNA is strong.
He's only
Kakarot.
he's only supposed to be a couple years younger than his granddaughter with his de-aging, right? But then he shows up, and she's an old woman, but Goku shows up, and he's still a young-looking man.
I'm glad you asked
How
about this.
old is Goku? What is the aging process?
Episode, I think the one before this one, he is made immortal.
Okay, now I get it.
He fades into the dragon, which is a big green dragon.
No, that was still the same
That
episode.
happens in this one?
That happens in the episode right before.
No, he
this.
he disappears before this. I'm pretty sure.
The episode before this.
Yeah.
As far as I could tell from the meanwhile.
Yeah.
Was he like dropped the final spirit bomb he's ever had to drop and killed that guy who was probably important.
He was all the bad wishes they made as a dragon.
I love that.
Also, guess what his super move is? It's punching you. It's punching you real hard.
Wow,
he's like covered in spikes, and he's just like, "Gah! You got a little shin music there. You son of a bitch. You crossed me. I'm a dragon. He can kick you in the shin, you piece of shit."
All the bad wishes. He's a thing fueled by endless creativity.
Yeah, they go over every wish they've made in the show, and they're like, "You shouldn't have wished for that. That was a bad use of a wish."
How many wishes get made in the show?
I think 7.
So how many Dragon Balls exist within the universe?
7, but then we find out there's the second set at the beginning.
So 14.
So 14.
So
And then there's
7.
another set on Namek. So that's
3
actually
sets of 7.
You have to have all of the Dragon Balls to make a wish?
No, you have to have one set of 7.
one set of 7.
So
you
people
go
have
together.
They go together.
People have
matching. You gotta
gathered
get a
the
flush.
Dragon Balls all together 7
Yeah,
times.
See, I
Flash.
see you getting caught up in lore here. Don't do that. That's a trap. It's not static. It moves around. It
Okay.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I know you want a rules lawyer Dragon Ball Z, but it does what it wants.
It can't be
I mean,
done.
we just had I'll give it credit. We just had a very intense discussion about Star Trek, and this makes a lot more sense than that.
That's impressive.
Yeah, well,
that must
no, because
be some really loopy stuff.
It was real. Okay, but here's the thing. I will, to Star Trek's credit, if we had watched like Star Trek, the one with Scott Bakula, we would probably be more on this page.
Okay.
But we watched one made a fan series, so it'd be like what happens if like
It's so
the guy who made GT trying to get back crowdfunded a large amount of money.
Right, whatever shitty toy executive was
Yeah,
at the top of
that it was like, hey, we're gonna do this, and then it was just like they just had Frieza and Cell making out for a while.
that's pretty much in there. They really shoot all their shots in Dragon Ball GT.
What's the worst thing that happens in an episode of Dragon Ball GT? Because we only watched 2 of 64.
So I think this one was just funniest to like look back on as an adult, but there's one episode. So they're flying all these different planets to get the Dragon Balls back and fix Goku or whatever, and they come across different wacky aliens, and one of them is like an Italian coded like sex monster, and they dress one of the characters up in drag to like fool him, and then he keeps trying to give him kisses, but it like doesn't work. And then Goku eventually just beats the shit out of him.
That's how a lot of the plots.
Yeah, if you're ever worried about one of the bad guys, don't worry. Goku's eventually going to get him, so it's okay.
He's gonna get him.
Yeah, he's going to get. The best parts of Dragon Ball Z is there's a second where you're like, maybe Goku won't get him, but they abandoned that. They're like,
But
he's
he
way
gets
too
him.
good.
What percentage of characters that appear in Dragon Ball Z do you think Goku is the villain of in their story?
Oh, 50-50.
Okay.
But there's a lot of them. There's like
Yeah.
ton of villains.
There's so many filler villains.
If you play any of the fighting games where they expand the roster to like get you to buy more of the games, there's like hundreds and hundreds of characters, none of which are like actually important. But
it's Grimly.
oh no,
He's a green guy from Namek, but he's a different type.
Binaros, Frieza's butler. He came up that one episode. He had hot tea. He spills hot tea on you.
Why is he?
They like have the move.
Why does he also look like Jinx?
Yeah, and they also introduce villains in like groups of 5 or 6 sometimes, and so
Is
like
this
the
a-
whole Ginyu Force is
Just full ska bands being introduced.
Yeah. You have to learn their names and buy the toys. Buy the toys.
The Ginyu Force actually should have been a ska band. That is a ska band that became.
Hey,
mercenaries
aspiring
instead.
ska bands listening to the podcast. Look through all of the Dragon Ball universe for your band's
Check
name.
it out. Ginyu Force. It's
What's
very
the-
popular
What's
with
the
NFL
best
players
group
now.
in Dragon Ball that a ska band should be named after?
Oh, what's the name of the
Frieza
dog?
and the boys.
Frieza and the Boys is a damn good ska name. There's
Skiza.
the Cybermen is a
Ooh.
good ska name. They're little
Yeah.
vegetable
Yeah.
guys who crawl to the ground and kill you.
Hang on, wait a minute. This is now more important than ska band names. They're little vegetable guys that
Yeah.
crawl out of the ground and kill you.
Yeah, they get planted like seeds, but they're monsters.
I
They're like
just-
gremlins.
It's not as cool as what I imagined, which was the California raisins coming from the ground.
They're not like totally. They look like a head of lettuce, but like with angry eyes and claws. And they're like pretty strong when they're introduced.
Oh
They kill
my
Krillin,
God.
I believe.
I mean, what
this
doesn't
is
kill Krillin?
This is maybe the most important thing to know about Dragon Ball Z is death means nothing because they figure out that you can get the Dragon Balls and wish people back. So everyone's died a few times, like they've
Yeah.
done tours abroad or whatever. Goku's died like 3 times.
R.I.P. Goku. Sometimes someone does get him.
Yeah, and then he stays in heaven to fight longer because he fights all the heroes of history.
Yeah, he's really
Those are the Cybermen.
Oh,
You like that?
They look less like vegetables than I expected. They look like from Mars Attacks.
Well, it's supposed to be not a joke, so keep that in mind.
Okay.
But
not a joke.
they do come from seeds and look like that.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
And that's the good part of the show.
That's the good part.
That's
That
not
is-
Dragon Ball GT, which is far worse.
Yeah, GT. It was weird because I didn't know it was just rebooting Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Kind of.
They were trying to go back to like the golden age kind of thing.
And so the last episode is he's killed all the bad wishes.
Yeah, he's killed all the bad wishes,
And
then
they have the Dragon Balls, and it's I think it starts with them basically summoning the dragon and going from then Goku kind of wrapping it up with everybody he's ever met.
that sucks. But yeah, I believe it. This is why we did it as 2 parts because it feels like a 2-parter with the one for it.
No,
But,
literally they should have just like Fast and Furious 7, like it's been a long day.
yeah, it could be a montage for sure.
It was there's a montage after where they just do 5 minutes of just in case you missed
Wait.
all of Dragon
this
Ball.
is all coming back to me. They do this a lot in Dragon Ball GT towards the end. They like run out of budget and just like give you clip show episodes.
It wasn't even a full clip show episode. It was like this one was like it was the finale, so they're like,
Yeah.
we gotta actually do
Hey,
some
Goku,
animation.
Remember when you killed that guy?
Yeah,
He was strong.
It's old Krillin is
Yeah.
back for a minute for them to like
Oh,
talk.
he fights him as a ghost. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Wait, is he a ghost at that point?
So he's like become timeless. That's why he's the same age when he shows up in the future. He goes into the dragon from Dragon Ball.
No, that
Z.
happens at the very end, and then the post-credit scene is like Goku Jr.
Yeah.
Fighting, and then her seeing Goku in the stands, being like, "That's my."
But then he's gone, right?
then he's gone.
That's
He's
the-
pretty much ghost.
That's the thing I like about Goku. I get older.
He stays the same
Stays
age.
the same age.
Regrettably, this is true about Goku.
Fortunately, he does not want to have sex with me ever. He just wants to fight.
He just wants to fight, and he says,
Would you
too
fight
strong."
Goku given the chance?
I would not.
No, that
let me
seems
go on the
very-
record. I would choose not to fight Goku. He's too strong.
David, would you fight
I
Goku?
would absolutely not fight Goku.
Well, no,
Alright.
here's the thing about Goku is he
Suicide
really
by Goku.
scales down. He like lets you get a few clocks in. He's like, he'll let you like really go off on him, and then he'll like chop you once.
Yeah.
He's like a good guy.
I like that he would fight me at my level for
Yeah,
a minute,
yeah.
which would be ostensibly so weak for him.
Oh yeah.
Like it would be
like
hard
nothing.
to navigate like the thimbles difference between absolutely murdering a human.
Right. And
How
then-
does he like?
Well, he's pretty much, and this is what they're emphasizing with the end of the show, and they tried to do this at the end of Dragon Ball Z too, is just hammering Goku, not a human being. All the weird stuff he was doing, it's because he's not human. Stop looking at him like he's human. He's like, Goku's a state of mind, like that's like kind of what they're going for.
He's an alien. He fights other aliens who also believe in fighting the most.
The other aliens very much are normal aliens, and they're bad. They're bad to the bone.
What's the one thing in Dragon Ball GT that most upset fans of the Dragon Ball franchise?
Okay, so
Or
they
a
pretty
couple
much
things, a couple
just,
things.
like desecrate every cool thing about the franchise up until then. They dig up every other character who was cool before and make them suck. Oob, who's in the first episode doing a cool fight with Goku, that's
Yeah.
the coolest thing he ever does. They dig him up a
Really?
few times, just get washed by a bad guy in like 5 seconds. And he's like, I couldn't do it. I'm not strong enough, Goku. And then he like goes away.
I love that Goku brought him back to Earth to cuckold him.
It's so
That is
embarrassing.
that's insane. The level of evil. I've heard. Okay, I've listened to some episodes of Dragon Ball Super, Ball and Out Super.
Ball and Out Super, yeah.
Yeah, plug for still
Plug for
support
the show I am no longer on.
support Lawson. I guess.
Make
Who
an-
is doing Dragon Ball Rich?
Yeah.
Make another episode, and we'll just make this an episode. We'll be a double episode for 2 podcasts.
I am not going to do that.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
No longer involved with the show. Best
Yeah.
of luck for them. It was a lot of. I already did a lot of episodes.
We're not. No, this is not our pitch to get you back on.
It's like a goddamn sting in here to get me to watch more Goku. And I won't do it. I've seen enough Goku.
For the record, you picked this.
I know I picked it because I'm qualified. Damn it!
You
But I'm
could've-
not going back in there.
You could have watched Howie do it. You could have watched Cavemen.
No. We only gave him animes.
Okay.
Because I knew you were uniquely qualified for anime.
It's true. I have a doctorate in Goku.
No.
My grandma's name was Anime.
Is that true?
Yeah.
She's a beautiful woman.
Well, I didn't like her that much.
Did she have huge eyes and like giant tits?
She's dead.
Oh yeah.
But did she?
Yeah, you didn't answer my question.
No.
No. All right.
All right.
Well, she's different than other animes.
I'm just
she's
letting you
different
know.
than most of the other animes.
Well,
I'm not trying to be weird.
It's not spelled like animation.
Right.
Anna.
It's like a southern comfort.
You know, I love
Yeah.
jokes best when they're explained.
Yeah, I know.
It's like
I didn't know how else to end this part.
David didn't get it, so we had to stop the show and explain.
Now, here's the important question.
I hate when I don't get jokes.
Neither of you would fight Goku, but would you fight my grandma, who's dead?
Who's dead?
I would fight
Yeah.
almost any anime.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what we're saying right now. This is crazy.
Wait, it just cut to me punching a grave.
I guess I just don't see what's in it for me if I win.
Your power level goes up?
Oh, I guess I would.
Is that how power levels go? Are they like chess rankings?
No, it's
No,
training.
it's like
training.
it improves through struggle. Unless you're a human, and then there really is a ceiling that you really can't get over.
Yeah, the Yamcha principle.
They have some cool humans at the beginning of the show, and they just are really embarrassing by the end. They just show up to be like, I wish I was you guys. I play baseball now. Krillin becomes a cop. That's in the show. He's just like, they let me drive a motorcycle, so I joined the police. You can fly. You didn't need to do that.
I remember really being like Yamcha and Chad and like those. They all seem like fun, like different ideas, and then just immediately, Hercule is a character.
Poirot?
What?
Like the detective?
No.
No.
This guy is not smart. Just very aggressively good at PR and being very strong.
Oh, Hercule. Yes, he's a stand-in for like a professional wrestler.
Mr.
character.
Satan.
Mr. Satan. He takes. So Mr. Satan's thing is he takes credit for Goku's victories, and then with that political capital becomes like the mayor of Earth. He gets a city named after him. He lives in a mansion. He just like
Mr. Satan City?
Mr. Satan City. Satan City.
So Satan, Mr. Satan is also.
Whatever happened to our Christian values?
Wait, also,
There's a Satan City?
didn't they say briefly in the last episode? Yeah, back when that portal to hell opened up, and they just kind of gloss over it?
Yeah, that's another bad part. So in Dragon Ball GT, because they run out of ideas, they open the portal to hell. In one of the movies, a portal
So
to hell opens
heaven
and
and-
they fight Hitler, who's in a tank.
What?
Yeah, he like comes down and he's with the aliens, and he's doing puns the whole time. It's a really wacky
Hitler's
characterization
doing
of puns.
puns? There's no way
Yeah.
you're being serious right now.
No, he's absolutely being
Oh my God. So heaven and
Oh,
hell.
yeah, okay, here's what happens. He's fighting one of the kids who turns Super Saiyan, which is where your hair
This
goes
is the
blonde.
closest we've gotten to Heil Honey, I'm home.
Yeah.
Your hair goes blonde, you get blue eyes, you're very powerful.
So when you're better,
Hitler
you become-
stops
oh.
everything and is like, I thought I knew what blonde hair was, but this is ridiculous.
Oh, my
And
God.
then they kill him. They
That's
murder
good.
Hitler.
So
That's
heaven
pretty
and hell
good.
are canonically real in the Dragon Ball universe?
Yes, absolutely.
Which
They're-
one does Goku go to?
He goes to heaven because he's such a strong warrior.
Just making sure.
It's only they let some people who have done genocides into heaven because they are very strong. People who do not deserve to be in
Honestly,
there.
to be fair,
is
it
this
would-
relevant to you just having brought up that Hitler is canon in the just where does he
Hitler-
go?
It's weird. Okay, so
I hope he goes to hell in
he
the
goes
Dragon
to
Ball
hell
universe.
because he comes out when hell is open. But here's the thing: is if you don't go to heaven
We
or
missed
hell,
an episode of Dragon Ball GT where Hitler is coming out of hell?
they like kind of gloss over him in the GT
They
one.
just gloss over
There's a
it.
movie where they give Hitler like a funny scene. But he's great to work with. We love Hitler. But at the same time, if you don't go to heaven or hell, you don't get to keep your body. So it's like almost a weird reward to go to hell because you get to still look like you, whereas otherwise you're like stripped and put in
You're
the
like a little
reincarnation
goo
machine.
thing, yeah.
You're like a happy spirit. Yeah, because it's all about the body, baby.
Honestly,
Trim
no,
spa,
I think
baby.
I think it's more of a reward to go to heaven and be like released from like whatever this is.
It would be over hell for sure.
So do you go to hell if you're just really bad at fighting?
No, also if you're like a bad guy, like all Goku's enemies go to hell.
But some of them are good
Well,
at
that's 'cause-
fighting.
That's also just politics as well. They're putting Frieza down
Yeah,
there.
that's my problem with hell. It's so political.
Yeah, it's unreasonable.
Hell's been so political these days.
Wait a minute. So if Frieza's in hell, and then
Hell
in,
freezes over.
Yeah.
Sorry, not to Hitler everyone.
I'm overthinking it, the show again. But yeah, it's.
Wait, what's your overthinking it thought?
Well,
you look so much more tired than when you started this podcast.
They said he's dead, but then in Dragon Ball Super, they bring him back and they fight him again, and I don't remember how that happened. Did they wish him back? I don't.
What does the GT stand for?
Good times.
What does it stand for?
Goku's tiny.
Oh wait, no, they say it in the theme song. So this is very. Did you get the English theme song when you were watching this?
I don't remember lyrics at all.
The like happy Japanese rock song.
I don't remember.
So in the Japanese,
great question.
The Japanese version of Dragon Ball GT, there's this fun like rock and roll song. We're going on a fun adventure, and then. Because it came out in like 2001, the English adaptation of what a cool Dragon Ball show is like a new metal rap rock song.
Okay, I didn't hear that.
Guy, he's like, step into the Grand Tour. You gotta get down with the Grand Tour. And it's like Goku like ripping guys' arms off. And then you watch the show and you're like, the show sucks. Why is the song so good?
Oh, yeah.
So it stands for the Grand Tour?
Yeah, he's on Grand Tour because he goes around space.
There was a period of time.
The Top Gear spinoff?
Yeah.
No, technically Top Gear is a spinoff of this.
Yeah,
okay, sorry.
Top Gear is what happened.
Top Gear, they got to fight all the Dragon Balls. But because there are no Super Saiyans around, you have to use cars.
You have to use cars.
Is the Stig from Top Gear a Super Saiyan?
I've not seen.
He's a guy that drives cars. He's in disguise.
Oh.
He was also the DJ on Adult Swim on Toonami prior to that.
Oh, that's crazy how that keeps happening in this episode. But no, that's just another human being. That's like you or me.
Yeah, just
not a Super Saiyan. You'll know it when you see
community
it.
human being.
First of all, only one Super Saiyan in like 50,000 years or something, and then they make like 8 of them.
No, but that makes
roll
sense.
that back immediately.
No, what happens is it's like how when one person beats like the 100-meter dash in a certain amount of time, suddenly a lot of people are able to do it.
It's a technology breakthrough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super Saiyan is a new tech.
It's a new. The sad part is though, because they just like they have him do this thing. It's supposed to be so important, and then they just give it to children instantly. They're like, by the way, this 7-year-old also did it because he fell down and got so mad. Getting mad is a big part of it. It's all about how pissed you get.
Yeah.
Is the Hulk a Super Saiyan?
He pretty much is. Yeah, that's a good example. The Hulk is like American Super Saiyan.
He does love fighting.
The thing is, the Hulk, he's got to eat a big hamburger, and so he's from America, baby.
He ate tacos in the last thing the Hulk ate, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
And shawarma.
I bet he eats a ton. He's so big.
Disney Plus original Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives with the Hulk.
Check it out.
Make it.
Hulk GT.
Pause this right now. Check it out. Goku also does eat a lot, though. That's something you should know about him.
Yeah, well, he's got to burn all those calories from fighting.
But he's so skinny.
Yeah, because he's
he's jacked.
Trim spa, baby. Yeah,
he's jacked.
He's jacked, but he has like visible abs. Yeah.
Yeah, visible abs at all times. Yeah, which is tough to do while eating constantly.
Yeah, that's the thing is like he has an incredible strength to him. But like, have you ever seen like a power lifter? Like the strongest humans become circles. Like they become like kind of fat and then like have incredible bases to them and they lift a big log over the head.
Yeah, because
Goku just looks like an Instagram model.
That is, yeah, I never realized you need like half of it is like leverage.
Yeah. You need to like have most of your weight be here,
so that it doesn't,
so you don't tip over all the damn time. It's so important.
This is for you guys.
Well, the kids back home.
So I have a question. Like, was that out of left field that the dragon was like, "Hey, no more wishes allowed"?
Oh, the villain they face?
No,
not the red one.
No, is that the villain at that point? Because they summoned the dragon again, and he goes, "Hey guys, we gotta stop doing wishes because you guys are fucking this up."
Oh, so he had been the villain for the 15 episodes before that. It's like a weirdly short arc for this thing that they're trying to tie all together, which is just how bad every single element of Dragon Ball GT is nothing is the right time or makes any sense. But yeah, he's a villain who punches you. I explained what he does. His name is Omega Shenron.
Okay. Yeah.
All of the individual balls become evil dragons, and then they form together into Omega Shenron, who is just like, he looks like a dude. But with spikes.
You were right. It was 7 wishes. 7.
There we go.
7 balls.
Yeah. It's the fateful number. And so the whole thing, because they're apologizing for wishing too damn much.
Yeah.
And then so when they finally kill Omega Shenron, purifying him and turning him back into the good Shenron we all love, who's like a long green Chinese luck dragon.
And he's like, man, you guys are fucking crazy for this one.
You wronged me. We have to rebuild together. We have
this has been too much.
Growth. Yeah, and Goku's like, I'm sorry, I wished for a sandwich. That one time, because they do silly wishes all the time too.
What's the silliest wish they did?
They do women's underwear.
Oh no!
There's a bad guy, and he's gonna wish for eternal life or something, and then one of them yells in the last minute. He's like, "Oh, big old pair of panties!" And then they get one pulls out of the sky. See, we're all having fun with these great wishes.
For the kids that watch that.
Yeah, the kids love to laugh.
I love it.
I hope the kids like it. I don't really like it very much.
What was the first? Who yelled that?
It was the transforming pig in the show. He doesn't.
Hang on and wait a minute. You can't just drop things like that out of nowhere.
I told you they have a lot of characters, and like a bunch of them are like supposed to be in the Soviet Union, which is weird that exists because it doesn't seem like anything else from our world exists there.
Well, Hitler does.
Oh yeah, Hitler's in there. That's really confusing. What
I
did
guess
he do there?
It's anime with the USSR,
Yeah.
like being a stronger component. I guess Russia is very close to Japan.
Russia is close to Japan, but the thing is,
so you make culture.
It's all just about aesthetics. So they have like the pig who transforms into stuff. It's wearing like a little Chinese Communist Party hat the whole time. Never comes up. It's just he's like in the army, and then eventually becomes the shape-shifting pig on the island with the horny old guy.
Yeah,
and they get into hijinks together. And then
they're both horny.
The Soviet Union people, Emperor Pilaf hangs out with them. They find Frankenstein. Frankenstein's in the show.
You're describing about 10 different shows.
See, there he is. There he is.
Oh, my God.
You think I'm just making this shit up, don't you?
No, I don't.
I'm just here for the attention.
There are like 10 different shows you're describing. One show is the communist pig hangs out on the island with the horny old man and they get into hijinks. That's a show.
That's a show.
That's a show, and it's a part of this show.
That's why I'm explaining Dragon Ball GT is the worst part of the whole thing, is they try to have the funny, fun hijinks, but they put it on top of the very serious child's battling show, and it does not go together.
And Dragon Ball Z is so serious.
What does the Z stand for?
Yeah.
It's early on. It's not super, but Frieza on.
Yeah, the second like 1992 hits or something, and they're just like, by the way, everyone is wearing cut off jeans and has a sword. And
I didn't realize how old it was, because now that makes sense in regards to
the fashion.
In the way that X-Men, like that X-Men cartoon.
Yeah,
is like so grunge.
Yeah, it's the same time period. Everybody's like doing the same thing.
Yeah.
The Z. I guess in England it would be Zed, and that is all I have to say about it. Important to announce, I guess, so everybody understands. This whole show in Japan, all of the properties together, is just Dragon Ball. It's just one show. In America, the licensing rights did not work that way because they just bought packets of it at a time, and they bought the middle chunk and called it Dragon Ball Z. The Z does not stand for anything. It's just like this part you're watching is Dragon Ball Z.
It should honestly be Dragon Ball G for Goku.
Yeah, well, they get around to that with Dragon Ball GT, the Grand Tour.
Goku
Tour.
Goku's World Tour.
Goku transform into ape. He's a big ape. You don't see it, but it happens.
I stand
Pull that up. David, pull that up. Daniel doesn't believe me anymore.
I believe you.
He thinks I'm making it all
No, I
up
think everything
for
you're
clout.
saying is factually accurate. I just can't believe that they did it.
Got the son of a bitches.
They finally did it. They got those apes blonde.
They come in all kinds of shapes and sizes.
That is.
You like that?
Not really.
You like that?
No.
How about that one?
I don't like any of these.
You like how they're wearing little suits sometimes?
Nope.
But they're bad and their eyes are red?
No, I don't like it.
Demonic gorilla ape.
They're
things.
big apes, and they're unleashed on planets to destroy them. And that's Goku's origin: is he is put on planet Earth by an evil alien race, but he hits his head, and then he becomes one of us. Superman style. He's Superman.
Yeah, he's
Superman.
Yeah.
I cannot emphasize this enough.
I didn't realize how much these look like kaiju, actually, now.
Yeah.
And like how much they're just fully borrowing from that.
Yeah, they're just big. Well, they're big monkeys. The name Uzaru is big monkey. They're big monkeys.
Great apes.
They're in the show. You fight them with your fists, but they're too strong, and they pick you up in their hands, and they go, ha, ha, ha.
and then it's all bad.
And they also shoot beams out of their mouths as well. So
yeah.
They do cool stuff.
Okay, so we are now at the end of the episode.
They also destroy the moon twice. Okay, continue.
Is there anything? What would you do to improve Dragon Ball GT?
Oh, okay.
You probably should go last.
So, okay.
I'm realizing that now immediately.
Yeah, why don't you guys step in
anything
first?
I suggest, he's just going to tell me that they already did. Because
ran
they've
for like 30 years.
Musical episode.
There's these guys who rap, but it's not like really a musical episode. They're just like the most annoying guys in the show.
Okay.
But that's in Dragon Ball GT.
I mean, I'm gonna just do a even basic one of just like it's just product placement, and this is what happens when you just make empty product placement shows.
For sure. I would agree with that.
Yeah, so make it less filler, but that's almost dumb.
More killer. Well, what I was gonna say is very similar to your comment, David, which is Dragon Ball GT is bad, not in the planning, but all in the execution. Just like every cool idea somebody had is ruined by committee and boiled down to the worst version of itself. And so this grand tour Goku is on as a young boy, which on paper, again, could be fun. We all liked when Goku was a little boy. Just sucks the entire time. He beats everyone by shooting a big beam at them.
There's no creativity anymore.
Yeah. They add a robot guy who's supposed to be your friend, but he doesn't do anything. He's just a dragon radar who's annoying.
I hate when robots don't do anything. That's their whole point.
They're supposed to do stuff. Even on the robot planet, he's not very helpful. Even on the don't laugh at it. It's important.
Yeah, and it's a very serious show.
Just everything they do, it's just like it's all execution.
You know what? If I was going to narrow it down to one thing, it would be pick a tone at the beginning and follow through on that.
Just have the tone.
Get that tone right.
Because people will dislike it for whatever tone it's going to have.
Well, they try to have it both ways where it's very silly, and then they're like, guys, it's the end of the world. Stop playing around. It's very serious what's happening to Goku right now. And it's like, but it's not serious because you just beat up that Italian rape monster. And I can't go there with you.
Also, he's going to shoot a beam at him, and that's the end.
And then he kills him, and that will be it.
Okay, let's recommend shows. This is just any show that you think people should be watching instead of this. It doesn't have to do with this at all. It's just any show.
I usually try to make them related for what it's worth.
Okay.
But zero pressure to do that.
New I Think You Should Leave is out. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
it's
for sure.
Like the Goku of laughs. Although I do have a critique for that, which is that they keep getting these SNL alums on there using their Lorne connections to spice up the show. But then they just have them act like Tim Robbins or Tim Robinson. And it ruins any charisma they have because they're just doing an impression of him. Fred Armisen's super weird in the new season. He's just doing Tim Robinson.
Yeah, no, they are doing more of that style. I would say in the new season, Tim Meadows.
Meadows I like.
I thought he did great with his, yeah.
Tim Meadows is the best of all the people they had on.
He is doing.
Yeah, he's also doing it, but he's like
he is kind of that way.
He sprinkles a little bit of his own flavor in there. He gets
Tim
a
Meadows
little
is
bit
great.
Of flavor.
He's great at it.
We love it. We love
all
it.
right, guys, we love Tim Meadows.
We love Tim Meadows. Shout out.
I mean, I'll second watch the new I Think You Should Leave, but a show that's if you want to watch an anime about a overpowered guy, watch One Punch Man.
Yeah, that's a good show.
Yeah, it's a much better anime.
It's kind of a parody of this show. That's why people like it.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Because this show's so silly.
And then I'll say I'll also say an anime, My Hero Academia. That's a fun anime.
That's good. I always have a hard time with those shows when it's like, isn't school crazy? And it's like, I'm going to be arrested if I watch too much of this. This is no good for me.
Well, that one is just such a I like
their school is barely a school, first of all. They don't do any school stuff.
That's a hero fighting place.
Yeah, they put them in a big arena where buildings explode and they're like, oh, explode class. No one taught you anything. It's not a class.
I like the way they approach the powers of the academic.
Yeah,
weird.
They do more high level or high magic versus low magic stuff. Where
that's what I'll say. It's the creativity around the powers, unlike just shooting a beam through people and being like, "That's it, we did it again."
This episode will have faded out 5 minutes ago.
What?
I said just that this episode will have faded out 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Never mind. This is the end of the episode now. Thanks for listening.
Once again, guys, if you enjoyed the podcast, don't forget to check out Alex Ptak on his podcast, Quorators, the podcast all about Quora. It'll be linked in the episode description. And check out me at DPIC Comedy on Instagram, LitGrandma420 on TikTok, and my comedy special, Goblin King, is on YouTube now. Check it out. And Daniel Crow is at Daniel F. Crow. Great. Next week, 7th Heaven. Good job for making it all the way to the end. You get this spoiled for you. Congratulations. That's what it's going to be next week. It's a big surprise for everybody else, but just for you, you made it all the way to the end. Good job. Bye.